Hi everyone, RicoRock1 here, making this video on the GameCube, well, controller, as you can tell. Well, the black controller that I was going to do a fun project, unfortunately, well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is, well, I got that new soldering gun. Also, I was able to fix the other one that wasn't sucking up properly. I found the tool, and that works just fine. It just needed to be taken apart and reassembled. But I tried out this device with the black controller. The green PlayStation 2 generic controller, that's a Type 2 controller. And my custom Amy Rose themed GameCube controller. I'll have links to each of those videos. Well, each of those video. I used this. I sucked off the joystick. This does a really great job. In fact, let me show you the listing. It's this one from Amazon. It's by Lottery, or Loddery. I'll have it in the description if you're interested in this. This has 4.4 stars. Comes with 3 other size tips and a stick that you clean the inside with. And let me tell you, this thing is awesome. Well, I'm sad that my black controller does not work anymore because a trace got broken on the board, but I still recommend getting one of these and swapping out the sticks with those generic controllers, whether it being the no name or the TTX or the old school variation controllers. If you were to swap out the sticks from a legit Nintendo controller, you're going to have yourself a good bargain. I did that with the wired circuit controller, and it made a night and day difference. But other than that, let me get to the controller that you guys want to see. And it was just delivered earlier today. I'm going to pull up the listing on my phone and then I'll show it to you. First, here's the box, if I could reach it. Now, it's made by a company called Saffun, S-A-F-F-U-N. This is the box that it comes in. It says it comes with a USB, has vibration, unlike the official Wavebird, and the TTX variation, and the old school and the other no-name one. Because those do say vibration, but those don't have it. This does. Anyway, the front and back have the same picture, and only one side actually has artwork. And when you open it, it's presented in bubble wrap. The controller comes in this. The other stuff that come in it, this is the USB-C cable that it comes in it. And this is where the 2 dongles, or 1 dongle, depending on which one you buy. I went for the 2 variations that come with the GameCube and USB, so it works on GameCube, Wii, Wii U, Switch, PC, and Raspberry Pi. Although for PC I wasn't able to get this working on my computer, but let me go ahead and get this on screen so you can see the controller as well as the USB cable. Because unlike the Wavebird, which takes 2 AA batteries, this has a rechargeable battery. It's modeled a lot like the Wavebird. In fact, let me show you some side-by-side comparison between the two. As you can see, it's modeled a lot like it. You may see some key differences. You got an extra Z button on this one because, again, this is a USB controller as well. I don't have a purple GameCube controller, so if I did, I'd do a proper comparison. Of course, I could have gotten this in black, but I wanted the the one that was on sale, which was this color. So, and on the front, you got your face button similar to a Wavebird. You got an on-off switch in similar spots. Although you only got 1 start button in the front. This one, you also have your home, capture, and select buttons. These are only if you use the USB or if you hook it to a Nintendo Switch or Switch 2. I don't have the Switch 2 yet. I may get one, but I'm going to wait for the price to drop down first. This here's the receiver that comes with the unit. It looks similar to the Wavebird and those other generic ones. And just like the generic TTX and the old school and those no-name ones, this will be flashing when it's trying to connect to something. And unlike those ones, this actually has a connect button, which is very nice. And there's a USB-C connector on here. And also, unlike the TTX Tech one, which this didn't happen to me, but it happened to maybe a few others, the little posts inside the adapter, this may happen to you, but it hasn't happened to me. The post may not be wrapped around correctly and your plug may come in and out. It's an easy fix. You just take 2 screws off here and then 2 more screws holding that off, and then bend them into place, and then you won't have that problem. Here's the USB version. This you plug into your USB device, whether it being your Nintendo Switch or your computer, etc. This managed to connect to both of these. Unlike the wireless Retrobit N64 controller my friend gave me as a birthday present, I went through 2 of them. The first one, the N64 adapter stopped working, only the USB worked, and then the second one I was able to do stuff and such, but now the N64 adapter doesn't work, and that's another story for another time. But other than that, what can I say about this? I let this charge for a good hour to 2 hours, and it's been holding up really nicely. The buttons and the sticks feel very nice. Oh, and the sticks do click, by the way. You got the, since this is also for Switch, you got the clickable joysticks. The original GameCube controller did not have clickable joysticks. Neither did the Wii Classic controller or the Pro. It wasn't until Wii U that they decided, we're going to have the analog sticks click. But other than that, so far, I really like this device. I love the texture feel. This actually feels better than the black controller that I had. And if I had that one working, I would give it a proper comparison. But so far, I think this is worth the bit of extra money. And the fact that it comes with a USB-C cable with a USB-C connector, I like this a lot more than micro USB, because micro USB breaks easily. This one, it's a bit more durable, and you never have to worry about putting it in the wrong slot. You just connect it like this, connect this to your wall adapter or your TV that is a USB or any device. This will flash several times, but when it's a solid red, it's ready to go. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and test out this on the GameCube. Oh, and this will work on the Nintendo Wii, by the way. I also forgot to show you the instruction booklet that it comes with. It's one of these fold-out instruction booklets. It shows the buttons around. I'll see if I can actually show this on camera real well. You can pause if you want to read this. This is the version 1.2.E1. You got the left stick, right stick, D-pad, on and off, your select start, home, and screen capture buttons. And it gives you instructions on when you connect it. First, you want to make sure you have it charged all the way. And then when it's flashing, then you hit the start button and then it will sync up. And if you have this connected to a Nintendo Switch, it will light up 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on which player it is. And it also shows you how to connect it to your device. It shows a GameCube. It doesn't really show a Nintendo Wii, but you get the idea. And unlike the some of the third-party wireless controllers like the Shockwave or the wireless Circa controllers, at least the design is similar to legit Wavebird, because there are some adapters where if you were to plug them side by side, well, you wouldn't be able to plug them in the front on your Wii or GameCube. I like how they have the original design, so it gets points for me there. because there are some third-party GameCube controllers where the wireless receiver is a little off, and then connecting one and the other, well, it's complicated. So that's another point for this Saffun GameCube controller. And also there's a reset button. That little button on the controller is the reset button. I'll show you what it is. See that little hole right there? That's the reset button. To get to it, you need like a toothpick. And there's also information on general troubleshooting, important notices, and your information on if you're using it on a computer or a USB device. I'm just going to be using it for the GameCube and Switch. I wasn't able to get it working on my Asus laptop, unfortunately, but that will be for another time. First, we're going to go ahead and set up the GameCube. I have Super Mario Sunshine. One of my friends says it's the best Mario game. I say he's wrong. It's one of the worst. But they have their opinion, and I have mine. I'm also going to plug in the receiver on my Nintendo Switch. Actually, you know what? I'm going to unplug it because I think it would mess up something, so let's not chance it. Alright, as you can see, the controller already got synced up. The receiver also flashes, as you can see, when you turn it on and then you hit start. Watch. You're connected. And now let's go ahead and select file 120. Oh, this controller vibrates too, I've mentioned. There are rumble packs in this controller, which the real Wavebird does not have. Neither does the TJ'sTech or the other wireless controllers. Let's go ahead and test out the buttons, and we'll start with the face buttons. Get away from there. I'm not going to Bianca Hills. The left. We'll test the sliders. And click. Look at that. These buttons don't do anything in this mode. The Z buttons do work, as you can see. Vibration's very nice. Oh, and by the way, the sticks clicking don't do anything here because that does not work. Well, they didn't have an original GameCube controller, so kind of pointless. But if you were to play a 3D All-Stars version of this game, you would know how it goes. Let's go ahead and test it with a much better GameCube game. You're probably all saying Smash Bros. Melee, right? Close, but we're actually going to do that one third. I actually want to test it with Luigi's Mansion first before we get to the whole testing it with Super Smash Bros. Melee. I will tell you, I did test it with Melee off camera, and it actually worked really nice with Smash Bros. Melee, but I never tested it with Luigi's Mansion. And by the way, that is my original copy of Luigi's Mansion from 2001. I lost the instruction booklet a long time ago. This was back when we had our original black Nintendo GameCube, and then at some point in 2005, 2006, the GameCube decided to, the black GameCube we had decided to die on us. And we're resynced, as you can see. I made it all the way to 39 boos, as you can see. So let's go ahead and test out the buttons, or the sensitivity with the joysticks. Let's see if there's any money in here. Oh, there's a heart. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't show this on camera. Yeah, the sensitivity works really good with this game. Let me go ahead and suck up a fire spirit so you can get a better idea. Oh, it was this one probably. Nope. was this one. Let's go ahead and get rid of this drawer. Look at that, I shot a fireball. And there's the dining room where that guy ate, but he wasn't satisfied. There we go. Let's go out and water that plant. Oh, I already did that. Yeah, you want to come back out here and water that plant because you will get a lot of dough. And by that I mean money. Let's test the sensitivity with the water. Ooh. Well, sorry I didn't show that on screen, but you get the idea with the sensitivity with the triggers. Let's try pushing on the joysticks lightly. Oh. Yeah, I'm actually very impressed. I may actually play with the rest of Luigi's Mansion with this controller. Now I'll test it with Smash Melee before any of you competitive Melee fans say, "Oh, what about Smash Bros. Melee?" Don't worry, I didn't forget about that one. I do have my original copy of that, by the way. And unlike Luigi's Mansion, I still have the instruction booklet for that. Although this is a replacement GameCube case for this, the actual one that actually came with this, I'm using for my action replay. As you can see, there's tape on that. After all, Smash Bros. Melee is a very important GameCube game to a lot of enthusiasts, so I decided to put the good case, well, Smash Bros. On a brand new case, or replacement case that has the, well, that is not torn and all that. Okay. First of all, you're not going to be blue, you're going to be green. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and test out with Melee and see how it turns out. So, I don't know if you can see this, but the sensitivity on the triggers do work. See, light shield. This, I'll tell you, this controller is actually really good for Smash Brothers. You get the idea. Alright. Well, you saw Smash Bros. Melee in action. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn off the GameCube and switch over to the Nintendo Switch, and we're going to test it with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. See you then. Alright, I got the Nintendo Switch on. I don't know if you can see to the left, but the receiver is plugged in. But that is the receiver plugged into the USB port. And I have this connected to that on this. It thinks this is a Switch Pro controller. And when it comes to using this for Smash Ultimate, this is actually better than a real Switch controller in my opinion. Although I still use the Pro controller for other stuff. So let's go ahead and do some Smash. Haven't played this in so long. We're gonna do a random stage. We'll do Final Destination. We'll select Final Destination from N64 because that one is my favorite. crap, I just didn't mean to select that. Oh crap, I hit the wrong button. I accidentally hit the random button. Sorry about that. I still want to play Final Destination. There we go. And now I'm still going to be whooping Green Kirby. This version I forgot you gotta hit the shoulder buttons to change colors. Let's do this. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm pretty sure this will work for Brawl as well. If you want me to do a test on that. Oi! Ha! You didn't knock me off the stage. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that baseball bat. Yes, hello. Whoa, okay. Whoa. Well, you get the idea. The buttons work really good. Whoa! How dare ya? Whoops, I forgot about that. Oh yeah. Oh, the Super Scope! I know you people say Melee's better than Brawl, but there's one thing that Brawl fixed that this one unfortunately has an issue. Well, that Melee has an issue. You can actually move it with the Super Scope. Can't do that in Melee. I can even float in the air and do that. Whoa! Oh no, I got hit by lightning and I shrunk. Okay, I'm gonna get off the screen. There we go. Ooh, Warp Star. Warp Star! You'd have to watch right back at you to understand that, but I'm sure most of you have. Whoa! 10 seconds left. And time's up. That was pretty close. And my controller vibrates, indicating that I've won. Let's see, oh! He only knocked me out once. I thought it was the same number. Well, that gives you an idea that this controller works really good for Smash Ultimate. And if there's going to be a Smash game on Switch too. So, now I'm going to go over my final conclusions with this controller. Okay, final conclusions on this Switch GameCube controller. Get it! Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. I tried it out with GameCube games and a Switch game. This actually acts a lot like a GameCube and Switch controller. This is also good for PC if you're able to get it working on your PC or those Raspberry Pi devices. The buttons feel very nice. Nice and clicky. The sticks feel nice. Even though these don't feel like rubber, they are, well, plastic, but they do feel almost one-on-one like the official GameCube controller. The shoulder buttons have the analog and digital functions, which is a win in my book. The face buttons feel like a legit GameCube controller. A bit more tactile, but then again, when was the last time you had GameCube buttons that feel more firm and tactile? So, yeah, that's a nice touch. Oh, and by the way, the D-pad on this is a lot nicer than a legit Wavebird. I don't mind the start function being a click button. And the fact that it uses USB-C and is rechargeable, that is a really nice thing to have. So I'm very happy with my purchase for $40, although it was on sale. You could also get this with just the GameCube adapter or the USB adapter. Depends on if you're just going to use it for your GameCube and Wii U or PC Switch 2. I can't really demonstrate this with a Switch 2 because I don't have a Switch 2. My friend Phase Doom Guy does. I would get a Switch 2, but the prices are outrageous, so I'm going to wait till it drops down. You know it's unlikely, but anything can happen. So in conclusion, this controller is awesome. Highly recommend it. If you have a Wavebird that's seen better days or you want a secondary controller for wireless, this is the way to go. I mean, sure, there's other options like the 8-bit Do. It's pronounced Do, not Do. Because there are some devices that say its actual name. I remember a video, a guy had a 8-bit Do speaker and it says 8-bit Do or something like that. So it's... Then you've also got the Retro Fighters controller. I almost got that one. I really love the Retro Fighters stuff, including my Brawler 64 controller. It's a really nice controller. I may get the wireless version at some point. But for conclusions, I'm just going to say this is a good investment. Well done, Saffun. Or Saffun. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's in the description if you're interested in that. So thanks for watching. This is Ricky Rock 1 signing off. I'm going to play some more GameCube. See you then.